I'm Dale Beaumont and welcome to Get Published TV. This is the only dedicated show on the internet to help authors and aspiring authors to write, publish and market their own best-selling book. Now in today's show we are going to answer the question, how do I get my book into bookstores? Now a lot of people don't understand the actual process and the steps in the steps in the food chain, so to speak. So I'm actually going to draw this up for you. And Dean, if you could just come into here, because he's just in the next office right now. So I'm going to get Dean to probably pan to the actual whiteboard, because I'm going to draw this up for you, because I want you to actually see how it actually works. Thanks, Dean. So this is the actual process. So I'm going to tell you the story of how this food chain works, and then I'm going to answer the question which I started with at the beginning, how do you get your book into bookstores? So the food chain starts over here with authors. So they're the people that actually write the books, of course, right? The next step is the actual publishers. They're the next step in the food chain. Then we actually have distributors, and I'll explain those in just a sec. After distributors, we have bookstores, and after bookstores, we actually have consumers or customers, and that's how it actually works. So in this sense, there's actually 5 steps in the food chain, from an author all the way through to a consumer. Now, what we have here is here we have the author, and here we have the publisher. Now, if you actually are going to self-publish, what that essentially means is you are being the author and also the publisher, which is why it's called a self-publisher. So you actually take positions 1 and 2. Now, if you choose to go with a book publisher, then even though they're called publishers, most book publishers are actually publisher distributors. So you as the author, you take only position 1, and positions number 2 and 3 are now actually done by the publisher. So they're publisher distributors. So how this actually works is that if you self-publish, then most people aren't aware of this, but there's actually a group of companies in almost every country that are actually specialized book distributors. They do not publish books, but they will take finished works and they will get them into the bookstores. Now, these guys here normally have reps or sales representatives all around the country, and what they'll do is they'll actually go into bookstores and they'll sell your book on your behalf. So you're here as the self-publisher, and the independent book distributors will get your book into the bookstores. So in a future episode, we're going to talk about how to actually find book distributors, and then how to actually pitch them your idea for your book, how to get them to say yes, and then also how to build a relationship with them, and how to incentivize them to actually promote your book. So to answer the question that we started with at the beginning, how you get your book into bookstores if you're a self-published author, you do it through a book distributor. Now, if you happen to sign a deal with a publisher, then you do not need to actually worry about distribution, because as I was saying before, most publishers actually do both. They will publish your book, meaning they'll do the editing, the proofreading, the typesetting, the cover design, the printing, and they will also do the distribution, meaning they will have normally reps that will get the books into the bookshops, and they'll basically manage both of those. But so therefore, I want to just, because a lot of people think that the only way that they can ever get their book into bookstores is by going through a publisher. It's not. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of authors worldwide, probably tens of thousands, that have their book in bookstores, but they are self-publishers. And I'm a perfect example of this. Like a lot of people, when they see my series of books, the Secrets Exposed series, they go, "Oh wow, who's your book publisher?" And I go, "You're looking at them. I'm the book publisher." And a lot of people get really shocked at that and thinking, "Wow, how's that possible? We see your books in all the stores. They're everywhere. And you mean to say that you've done all of that?" Well, sure, I'm the actual publisher of the books, but I didn't do it all myself because I worked with a independent book distributor in order to get it into the bookstores. Okay, so that's actually how it works. Now, the details of this we're going to cover again in more future episodes, but I wanted to just explain to you this sort of food chain. And in fact, you know what, as I'm thinking right now, in the next video that I'm going to produce, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and show you the breakdown as far as what percentages go to each of those entities along the food chain typically. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that. So come back tomorrow or the next day, whenever it is, and watch the next video because I'll go through that in more detail. So hopefully you can understand that right now. Again, author, publisher, distributor, bookstore, consumer. Okay, this is what a self-publisher is. They do both of these. This is what a publisher does. Okay, so that's how the process works in a nutshell. Come back tomorrow and we'll continue the conversation. This is Dale Beaumont from Get Published TV. See you again next time.